All right, so now we're going to talk more about that solution development and sharing section of our PBAL lesson plan. And we're going to get to do a little bit of practice before we apply this to our own PBAL. So we know that there are two questions asked in that portion. One part is on developing your solution. We've already done that. The second question is how will students share their solution with an authentic audience? And what language skills do they need to be successful? And we're really focusing on that language skills in this practice now. There are lots of ways students can share their solution. They can write a letter to their senators or their state representatives. They can do a group presentation through PowerPoint to their class or to the whole school. If you want ideas for how to do that, I've done that in the past and I can help you plan that. They could do something that we've never done before, like a series of infographics, because that's such a big thing now, that talk about the problem and potential solutions. And then maybe they could share that on a website. They could develop a podcast where they share their potential solutions. There's lots of possibilities out there. So we want to focus right now on language skills. So I'm going to choose one of these to model. So I'm going to say, okay, my students are all going to create podcasts. And I want to think about what language skills do they need to be successful. And we're focusing on that output skill, right? That input skill happens in that collaborative piece and inquiry, but now it's output. Now I want them to speak or I want them to write. Okay. So I want to choose some skills and specifically think about how I'm going to prepare my students to do that. I can't just say, okay, guys, I want you to write a podcast and now you're going to record it, go. I have to explicitly teach them how. This is what makes PBAL such an amazing experience because they're learning and developing so many skills. So we have this really simple organizer to help us do that. I want to think about what skill do they need and then how am I going to help them learn that. So obviously in a podcast, there's a lot of speaking skills, specifically tone and pausing, talking about once we have our script written, how we want to pause at our commas or stop at the periods to really help people understand what we're saying. That I might want to emphasize one piece but not another. So I want to model that for them, give them the opportunity to practice it so that they know and are being strategic with their podcast. Also, I've got the language of inferring because I want them to actually write the script. So I'm not going to just have them just free range talk. I'm going to have them write it out. I might do a model. I might use Phoenix as my model, write out my script. Maybe my students are going to help me write that script. So that's that guided practice. And then have them go out and write it in groups, individually, whatever you decide to do. Okay, so I just want to be really strategic. You are now going to have the opportunity to do the same thing, but I want you to practice with climate change first. So you're going to choose another solution method that I didn't choose, and you're going to brainstorm some skills that would be used to support that solution sharing in your classroom. You're going to brainstorm the skill and how it could be taught or practiced. There's a lot of space on here, but I just want a minimum of one speaking and one writing. Okay, then you're going to have the opportunity to apply this to your own PBAL.